Chapter 2: Medico-Legal Issues and the Pharmacy. Chapter 2 revolves mostly around the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, most commonly called CMS, and also the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA. CMS is the main federal agency that is responsible for healthcare. HIPAA is an act that was first approved in 1996. HIPAA provides guidelines for various aspects of a person's private health information, also called PHI. HIPAA also ensures coverage for those that must change or lose their jobs, and it also deals with fraud, waste, and abuse. Much of what happens in healthcare is influenced by the regulations from HIPAA. As a pharmacy tech, you will undoubtedly encounter situations every day which require you to comply with HIPAA. You will also likely be required to participate in HIPAA training through your employer. Your employer will be a HIPAA entity. As stated by HIPAA, entities must have a set of privacy practices appropriate for its healthcare services, notify patients about privacy rights, and also train their employees to understand these practices. The HIPAA Privacy Rule was the first comprehensive federal protection of health information. The HIPAA Privacy Rule states that entities must have a set of privacy practices that are appropriate for the services they provide. So, for example, in a pharmacy, patients' profiles must be protected in some way. Also, entities must notify patients about their privacy rights and how their information can be used. This is typically done with a brochure, and the patient may sometimes be asked to sign an electronic pad acknowledging that they have received or are aware of these rights. HIPAA entities must also train their employees to ensure that they understand the privacy practices and know how to comply with HIPAA. Entities must also appoint a privacy official that oversees the privacy practices and makes sure they are followed correctly. Entities must also safeguard patients' records. This is the heart and soul of HIPAA.
At the pharmacy, you are often asked to sign a HIPAA Notice of Privacy Practice. But do you really understand what HIPAA is and what information is protected? HIPAA stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. HIPAA has two types of rules, Privacy Rule and Security Rule. In this video, we're going to focus on the Privacy Rule. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the major goal of the HIPAA Privacy Rule is to assure that individuals' health information is properly protected while allowing the flow of health information needed to provide and promote high-quality health care and to protect the public's health and well-being. Here's a scenario of a violation of the HIPAA Privacy Rule.
Hello, Mrs. Smith. I heard you had a question for me about your medication.
Yes, so I got my antibiotic amoxicillin filled, and I just want to know what side effect that I should watch out for.
Hey, I got the same antibiotic, but it didn't work for me. You should try something else. I got it.
Me?
Can you tell what was wrong in the previous scene? The pharmacist did not intervene and allowed the second customer to overhear the conversation. It is important to ensure the patient's privacy by requiring everyone standing in line to be a safe distance away so they don't overhear conversations between the pharmacy staff and the patient. Here is an example of an appropriate way to handle it.
Hello, Mrs. Smith. I heard you had a question for me about your medication.
Yes, I do.
Actually, Mr. Jones, I'm so sorry, but can I ask you to, due to patient privacy, may I ask you to stand a few feet back? Sure, I can do that. Thank you
No
very much. As you can see, maintaining patient privacy is a critical part of a pharmacist's job. We need to be aware of our surroundings and ensure that patient privacy is fully protected at all times.